This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 334.
Shattering the Yo-Yo.
A non-boring healthy lunch. Previously on Running a Fever.
Talk about my new exercise plan today, but I've gone to not walking every single day to walking 3 times a week, and now I'm doing this similar type walk maybe once a week. And that seems to be working well, but I've also discovered there are other things I need in my life. Strength training is one of them. And cardio, I talked about interval training, but something like that to get my heart rate up several times a week is key, I think, to lowering my blood pressure, which is still a bit of a problem, even though I've lost so much weight. So I need to get my heart rate up. Now I have a workout partner. So we're going to try to do this together, and I know from experience that when you try to do things with other people and connect and share the experience, if you have a rough workout and you tell, I had one of those the other day, but today I felt fine, you'll get over it, move on. It's great because you might have trouble, maybe the other person has trouble, but you kind of encourage each other, just a natural thing that happens. So what I think we're going to try to do, I did this elliptical machine last Friday, and I am still feeling it in my legs. And I really just want to get my heart rate up, but boy, did it do a number on my legs, because I'm not used to moving that way. It's not like walking. It's not like any kind of weight training. It's just something different, and that's probably a good reason to do it, if nothing else. The more different stresses I put on my body, as long as they're low impact, will be good for me, make me stronger. Hey. So I think we're going to do that maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 or 3 times a week, hopefully. And then the strength training, maybe twice a week. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, but Friday, we went in the morning. That was good. I felt good all day. And it requires getting up early in the morning. Getting really tired of chili for lunch every single day. I knew this would happen, so I need to just, this is my priority, so I need to do something about it. So I looked up some recipes today. There are a couple of good sites. I think there's like a wellness something or other, and the one I looked at was allrecipes.com, and they have a special section on lunches, and I was looking at stews and soups and things like that, because the chili things worked out pretty well, actually, and they're so low calorie that you can have crackers with them, or even probably some cheese, and still wind up with well under 400 calories for lunch, which is just fine. Probably need more than that. So I'm looking into that because I know that boredom, if I just really get tired of that, someday I'll just say, I'm not eating that, I'm going somewhere, and then I'll have to go somewhere. And I've learned a little bit about how to eat at restaurants, but there's a good chance it's going to be something bad.
Welcome to Running a Fever. My name is Michael Davis. I love my life enough that I want to live as long as possible. And all I want is to live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. This is the 65th episode in our series on Shattering the Yo-Yo. And the episode we're talking about is episode 93. That's where the clip was from. A good exercise plan, I was doing a lot of things when episode 93 was recorded, and that's good. I was able to keep that up for a while. Maybe it isn't sustainable for the long term. Even if I make my fitness my number one priority, it doesn't mean that I don't have a number 2 and 3, etc. In other words, I don't spend my entire life on trying to stay healthy. But I do think the basic ideas here are sound. Some strength training, even if it's just a little dumbbell action at home. Some cardio. I still have that stationary bike I can use without leaving the house. And walking is definitely something I need to do more of because it has psychological benefits as well. And it just feels good. If you can do something that feels good and is healthy too, that's great. Why not do it? It is interesting. I know I did an episode on how to make double bean chili at one point. But it's interesting that I thought chili would add some spice to my diet, pun intended. But then I took it too far and got completely burned out on chili. I made tons of it and froze it, and I ate it for a while, and it was great. But eventually I got tired of it, and the chili wound up sitting in my freezer until I finally threw it out. It's certainly not unlike me to go overboard on a new idea. I tend to repeat things. More variety is necessary for sure. So the good thing I was doing here was putting in a little effort to research some new recipes. I never got into doing some of the other things like soup and stew. I made gumbo, which I guess could fall into one of those categories, and chili, and that was about it. I can actually take similar lunches for a while. Currently, I work half in the office and half at home. When I go to the office, I usually have a quick breakfast like some kind of oatmeal or maybe some yogurt, and I'll take an apple to work for lunch, or sometimes just eat some peanut butter and crackers out of the machine there if I run out of apples, or run out of time in the morning. Not terrible, but not great either. If I'm at home, I can make some waffles with Smart Balance and light syrup for breakfast, or have some turkey sausage. For lunch, I can heat up a tamale or a bowl of soup. I can eventually get tired of just about anything, so I need to be ready with a new idea for when that happens. Preferably an idea that is good for me so I don't wind up reaching for the wrong thing in a pinch. Good lessons today. If you want to listen to the original episode in its entirety, you can go to runningafever.com/93. And for the show notes to this episode, including references, check out runningafever.com/334. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch the fever, and I will talk to you next time on Running a Fever.